is, and the boardwalk looks great. It's, it's small businesses, it's people being entrepreneurs, and people can enjoy that. And I know Dunkirk has quite a few festivals now, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. With our music on the pier and our beach bash going on, yes, Dunkirk is busy all summer long.
Well, that's good. And so we're looking to, have the success of Dunkirk all along the lake, up along those communities. I think it's really important. We have some great things happening in Westfield, too, for example, with the Grape Discovery Center. So despite the economy and despite all the bad news that we seem to have all the time, there's some very good things happening in Chautauqua County.
Yes.
So thanks for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Have a great Saturday.
Well,
Thank you.
Another of the great things is the apples. And, everywhere there are apple trees, and a lot of them are not really being used, so they just drop. Even though they drop, they're still perfectly good in most cases. So you just run around, pick up the perfect falls, chop them in half, or peel them, chop them in half, and core them, and then pack them in your freezer. It's good for all year. They
Do you bake pies?
I do occasionally. I don't make a real apple pie. I take the crust and fold it up over it.
Oh, you do?
With a big crust. And
I make a great apple pie.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I'll
So
tell you.
like a Dutch apple pie with the crumblies on the top. And,
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. I did a pie.
Next time I come, I'll have to bring Rita
Bring
pie.
some, yeah. Well, I'll tell
You
you.
see everybody, drooling over there.
Well, I had a wonderful lunch yesterday at 12:30. I went down to the Absolute, which is a healthcare center, which incidentally is the #1
course, I've
Absolute
been
in
there.
upstate New York.
Yeah, and I've been there.
According to the people that basically determine what is good in a healthcare center, they won. And I had, I think it was quite a whole bunch of apple pies to test out and taste. And what wonderful.
That sounds like a rough job.
It was a terrible job. I loved it. And I want to thank Dave Reynolds for inviting me over to do it. It was just really a lot of fun. And I'll tell you something, apple pie is American as motherhood. Something like that, right?
It is.
Mother and apple pie is American. I got to take a break. Public service announcement. Come on, guys. Hit it. There you go. We got a guy here, shoots from the hip, talks about bluebirds and honeybees. We have John Hamels.
You make me laugh every Saturday morning, Reed. Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Senator Young. How are you? Boy, we got a busy morning already with the phone calls. So, Cathy said, only nice phone calls, people. And I'm the operator, so I'm screening all her calls today. We're going to give her a break from her usual grouchy people out there. Checks in the mail. Okay, since we got a little bit of a Dunkirk theme going here this morning, there's a place called 21 East. Have you ever been there? No. It's near the boardwalk in Dunkirk, and it's a small cafe, quasi-library, bookstore, and they do adult literacy, easy for me to say. And my partner Bill and I are going to be playing there this Friday at 5:30 till about 6:37, and we basically raise funds for the literacy program up there. So that's 21 East up in Dunkirk. So folks that are watching from Dunkirk will be there and join us. It's a great time. We play our Irish music and American folk music, and the place is packed every time we go there. I think it's our third or fourth time we've been there, and we're very happy to see the folks up there. Reed, I know we got a lot to talk about today, so I will try to be brief. I know that's hard for me. Yes, thank you. He's got this button over here.
Have a nice day.
No, I'm done. No, real quick, this today and tomorrow, over at the Children's Safety Village on 394 on the Bosse's property there. The Children's Safety Village is going to have its Winter Wonderland craft show from 10 to 5 today and 10 to 4 tomorrow. And yours truly will be providing music along with some other folks. They'll be singing some Christmas carols, and we're going to have, they've got face painting, children's craft, petting zoo, pictures with Santa, horse-drawn trolley rides, and all kinds of crafters are over there, kettle corn, and just all kinds of fun. So you have nothing to do today on this beautiful day. Come on out and
November 5th.
today and tomorrow. There's a $4 admission charge for adults and $3 for children, and it helps raise funds for the Safety Village. And the last thing I want to talk about is that, we raised the whole issue here early on about the county home. And I'm really glad that we had Fred Crosscut here last week because, we've all been looking at this maybe as a negative thing, but Fred kind of shed some light on a couple of things I hadn't thought about. And the nice thing about the senior report is we get to talk about whatever we want to talk about, and we bring the topic or the argument, the debate to you folks right in your own homes. And Fred said something about, there is a plus side to this, that if it does go private, that they could expand some of the services. And I didn't know that. And so I'm glad that Fred was able to share that with us, because I've tried to stay neutral on the matter, but just keep asking the questions and raising the issues. So let's keep asking those questions. People, if you want to call in here, and add to the ongoing discussion about the county home, I'm sure that Reed and I will be happy to take those calls. So Reed, back to you. Kathy, I can't wait to get those more phone calls for you.
Well, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, John Hamels. He does bring up an issue. I'm sure you've seen all the signs around Westfield and the whole area in Chautauqua County, Save Our Hospital, and a lot of people are concerned that quality of care may change, expense may change. It's a big issue around here,
Right. Well, I know it is a big issue, and we need to have enough senior services for people who actually need nursing home care. And of course, people would much rather stay in their homes. I was at the opening of a facility in Jamestown yesterday through Lutheran Social Services, and it's all about assisted living and people being able to be independent, but they had some really neat technology. And you told me you had some telemedicine demonstrations on your show before, but this is all telemedicine. It can take people's blood pressure, monitor their weight, so that they still can get the health attention that they need every day. And that, if they have a small health problem, they can catch it before it turns into a bigger health problem. So it's a quality of life thing. But I know that the nursing home issue is very important to a lot of people, especially in this part of the county. And so I know the county is going through a process right now. But on the state level, we have to make sure that we have enough funding to be able to fund the nursing homes or fund the assisted living programs, because those are very important.
Yeah, well, I do know the fact that, that we spend a lot of money over at the nursing home in Chautauqua County, but no new beds. The legislature said we got too many seniors on welfare, or not on welfare, but who are receiving Medicaid going into nursing homes, which is frightfully expensive. We've got to stop this somehow. Well, they did. And somebody said we can't build any more beds. That was 30 years ago. We have the same number of beds in nursing homes for seniors as we had 30 years ago. And of course, we have 3 times as many seniors now, so they're crowded out all over the place. This is one way you can expand a little bit, and you put up a quasi nursing home, the expanded living or whatever it is.
Assisted living.
Assisted living.
Right, the facility
which will take care of some of the people that might go into a nursing home.
But most people want to stay in their own homes, and there are ways that you can do that now through home care, but also some of these telemedicine things where you can, have the same systems in somebody's private home so that they can be linked to somebody. If they fall or something happens, somebody's going to be there to make sure that they're okay. So there are a lot of really innovative technological advances out there that we need to implement because it helps people be able to have the quality of life that they really want. So it's really good stuff. I'm working on that right now through the Rural Resources Commission. I'm chair of that. I'm a glutton for punishment. I chair 2 major committees. One is the commission and the other is the Housing, Construction, and Community Development Committee in the Senate, but which is very important too. But and the commission, we're looking to expand telemedicine. And you know what state is doing a great job? You'll never guess.
Idaho.
That's a good guess. Georgia is light years ahead of New York State as far as telemedicine goes, and so we're looking to expand our telemedicine so that we can really get on board with this. And I'm holding a hearing in Albany on January 9th regarding telemedicine. And so we want to look at what Georgia did to become so good at it. And we're actually having somebody come, it's like Skype, you know, where you can talk
Sure.
to somebody. Somebody from Georgia will be participating at the hearing and still be in Georgia.
How
And
about that?
we'll have that.
A teleconference, telemedicine, teleconference, everything, right?
Tell everything. But it's a great way to get information.
Oh, well, great. I must say, the modern age of medicine is just so incredible, as is criminology. I mean, when they found out about DNA, God help the criminal now. If he comes into a place and coughs, they've got him.
That's right.
And with APHIS, which is the fingerprint computer, I mean, gee whiz, they never could find a culprit. Now they have this fingerprint gadget, they put it in, boop, it says, here, that's Joe Blow from Idaho, you know. We're sitting here having a great time with Cathy Young. Cathy Young will answer any calls that come in. If you need money, just call her, she'll send it directly to you.
No, I think the state's kind of broke right now, Reed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We do have a budget deficit coming up.
Oh, do we?
You know,
Now,
this-
does that mean more taxes? Of course, right? We had
Well,
a
no.
25% increase last year.
No, we did not.
Oh, well, the
That
year
is
before, they
absolutely
tell us
false.
that.
Well, this year,
Yeah.
we said no new taxes. And you're right, because the last 2 years, and that's when New York City controlled everything in Albany, they had control of the Senate, the Assembly, and we had Governor Patterson, of course, and they raised taxes by $14 billion, just
Huge amount.
broke the bank,
Right.
broke the record.
Well, how have you gotten control now?
Well, we're back. The Senate majority is my majority now, and we're focused back on upstate. So there's balance between the Assembly and the Senate. And Governor Cuomo, of course, is a brand new governor. And he seems to understand that we have to focus on the most urgent things. And number one is rebuilding the economy and having more jobs, because we have people out of work and we have young people who don't have career opportunities and they feel like they have to leave after they graduate. So we're working on changing that around. The spending, of course, was out of control because when they raised taxes, they also raised spending by $14 billion, and it was very irresponsible. And you know, Reed, a lot of the taxes that they raised were terrible because they hit seniors very hard. For example, they took away the star rebate checks. They raised taxes on utilities at a time when people have trouble paying their bills. They raised taxes on health insurance policies, and the list went on and on and on. So we're turning that around, I have to say. I think Governor Cuomo is doing an excellent job. We've been working closely with him in the Senate so that we can focus on the economy, because if you have a good economy, then the rest of all of the issues fall into place.
Good. Well, the
You
Whig-
shouldn't have to raise taxes.
Right, well, of course, he's a Democrat and you're a Whig. And the two
I'm a
of
Whig.
Whig is what it used to be, the Republican
Right,
Party, but
right.
it turned into the Republican.
Prior to Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I've
I'm
told
not
you
that old.
I've told you a story about the teepee, though, in Chicago, how he got elected over our local landowner. Okay, we got a couple of calls. Want to take a
Okay,
call?
great.
Hey,
Yes,
good morning,
I'd love
caller.
to.
Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. It's beautiful, beautiful day, but the frost is still on the pumpkins. I'm waiting
Oh,
for
yeah,
it to melt
isn't it
off.
gorgeous out there? And
But it's cold. There's still frost.
no
all
snow
over.
yet, no snow yet.
Well, that's a good thing. I'm happy about that. I also need to mention that today, or not today, but coming this week, there's going to be a very special day for some of us. And I believe it's because of you, Mr. Powers.
What day is that?
You're going to have a birthday. I
Oh,
won't
that's-
mention which one, but
Right,
you're going
right.
to have a birthday.
Right, I did mention
Coming
that.
up. Oh, I didn't know. I came on late.
You
so
were
I-
baking bread.
Exactly.
You know, by the way, he told me he's having lobster for his birthday.
Am I invited? I'm assuming that he.
It's a BY.
Bring your own lobster.
BYOL.
That sounds right to me. Okay. I do have a question for your guest.
Sure.
I understand we're trying to get a budget with no new taxes, et cetera.
Right.
But I'm having a problem, especially with getting rid of teachers. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they are our future. If it wasn't for teachers and properly educating our children so that they can function in this world with the knowledge they need to do so it's not just competition among the United States anymore, it's competition with all these countries in the world that are industrialized. And I feel that if we cut our teachers, we're cutting our future, that we will affect ourselves in years to come, that it's not going to be a good effect. And I just wondered what your opinion on that was.
Well, I share your support for teachers. As you know, we had a $10 billion deficit that we had to cure this year, and New York State isn't like the federal government. You know, you hear about these $1 trillion deficits that they can carry from year to year. In New York State, and every state is like this, there's a state constitution that says you have to have a balanced budget. So because of the national economy,